Hi, Steve from SDR here. We've got Ben Kuma, who's a sports nutritionist. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself, mate?
Performance nutritionist, coach, writer, presenter. So I deliver seminars around the country. I have a podcast on iTunes, Ben Kuma Radio, and a TV channel on YouTube, Ben Kuma TV.
And don't forget to check that out. I'll put the link in the description, and I'm sure you can click on something at the end to make you go to that channel. So today we're going to talk about football food. What sort of foods should we have for football? I get a lot of questions asked. What should we eat maybe before a game, on the day of the game, after the game? So all these questions, and I'm sure you can tell us a bit more information about it.
Yeah, and the guy watching this video right now is going to be like, pen and paper already, like, oh, I'm going to find out the one meal I need to eat. And the problem is there's not a solution, and that is the crux of the story.
Don't switch off. Don't switch off though. We've got a good answer.
There is a good answer. We're all very individual, and I think when we talk about nutrition, we talk about these things called proteins, carbohydrates and fats. Now there is a perfect blend for everyone to make up a meal, whether it's pre, during and after game, and you need to find this perfect meal. So I'll give you a really quick example. Chicken, which is protein, rice, which is a carbohydrate, a fat, we'll call it avocado. If you had a bit of those and you start to feel tired and sluggish, you need to take away and add a bit of one of the others to try and find this mix. So for example, you might have a little bit less rice and a bit more avocado, so you address the kind of fat and carbohydrate balance, and that's how you get optimal energy out of food.
Okay, that's class. Because sometimes when I eat before a game, on the day of the game, I don't feel like I can digest the food sometimes. So real common problem. So the actual timing, again, it's got to be really personal. Like me, I play rugby. Sorry, football fans. But for me, I'm like, I'll eat a really big meal like 5-6 hours before a game, little nibble like 2 hours pre-game, and that's good. I want to be light, I want to feel really athletic. So again, you've got to find that perfect balance. There's no concrete answer. Nice. Also, with drinks, so different drinks for sport. A lot of people like the brands like Lucozade Sport and other things. Do these drinks actually help? Is there something that we could have instead of that? Could we make our own?
I think they definitely help. Like, we can't say they don't help. Muscle tissue is powered by carbohydrate, glucose, and that's in these drinks. But I think they're overused. So I see footballers, rugby players, loads of sportsmen, you know, they've got a game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and they're sipping Lucozade at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Have this Lucozade when you play, like when the actual muscle tissue is undergoing severe contractions and it actually needs it. So I wouldn't be having it pre-game. I'd say, well, this is how I advise people when you start to warm up. So you're out on the paddock, 30 minutes pre-game, you're starting to do your drills and stuff, start to sip your drink.
Right.
So the bloodstream has now got good levels of circulating glucose, and then try and do that all the way throughout the game. Have a good glug of it at half time. I wouldn't advise drinking a whole bottle at half time, it'd be too much of a glucose load. But could you make your own? Yeah, you could put honey in water. After all, the muscle uses sugar, so anything sweet you could use. Like people eat Haribo, drink blended bananas, have a nibble on a banana. There's all these kind of strategies that you can use. Again, it's a personal thing.
People talk about food groups and what the food groups do to our bodies.
Yeah.
Maybe if we can just tell them a little bit about what the food groups are and what they're looking for.
So food groups, simple ones. Carbohydrates, so this is a sweet potato, so that's a carbohydrate, is a key food group in any performance individual's diet. Potatoes, rice, pasta, bread, all the kind of key energy food groups. Then you've got protein, so here I've got fish, really important protein source. The same with nuts, dairy, animal protein. You need a constant supply of protein. It repairs muscle tissue, you need it. And then there's obviously fats that are contained in various food like dairy, nuts, oils, olive oil and stuff. And then this old thing, a vegetable.
That's a bit of a vegetable, isn't it?
Is something that no athlete eats enough of. I look at people's food diaries, and you know, there's lots of chicken and pasta, chicken and rice, and all this kind of very lean protein, fat. Everything physiologically in the body comes from the nutrients in fruit and vegetables: vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, electrolytes from the muscle tissue. So they're really important.
Eat your veg. A lot of us take for granted the nutrition side of things. We talk about getting fit and doing all the physical things, but like what this channel is all about, mind, body and soul, is not just about that now. It's kind of how do we prepare ourselves mentally and how physically can we change ourselves with our diet too. And certainly with
food, I know you can feel much better in your recovery and
yeah, well,
everything
I
else.
think you could take perfect examples out of football. Like some of the best players at the top of their game that are old are the players that are so diligent about everything they do. The one player that sticks in my mind and is very open about this is Ryan Giggs. Playing into great age, and one of the things, you know, interviewers interview him and say, Ryan, what are some of the secrets of like growing old in football? And he's like, I do yoga every day, I eat really well, I take care of my mind and my emotions and stuff. And because he applies all of that, he can reduce his risk of injury, increase his rate of recovery, so he can play more games. And I think there's huge value in actually looking after your body. Revisiting the point we talked about, you know, foods that you can eat before, during, and a game. I think the one thing that, you know, users should really pick up here and know is that after a game you have a greater need for more carbohydrate density. So all the glucose that's stored in your muscle is going to be expended during that game. So having, you know, meals that are dense in like fruit, rice, pasta, these kind of dense carby sources are perfect for after a game, not necessarily perfect before a game.
So we've heard a lot about our diets and things that we can do to improve that. If you've got any questions about football food, you can also go over to Ben's YouTube channel. Do you want to just plug that quickly?
Ben Coomber TV.
Cool. And also we'll leave a link in the description. And please ask more questions about nutrition. Maybe we can get back to them on my channel as well. You might be able to be in the comments to answer them. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Closing statement, eat your vegetables.
Do it. Hi, it's Steve here. We've got Ben from Ben Coomber TV.
Hi.
We're going to teach you how to make an isotonic drink. So Ben, what are the tips that we need to use to make a sports drink so we don't have to spend a lot of money in making an isotonic drink or a sports drink?
Really simple.